All right, I'm live. How we doing there, YouTube? How we doing, guys? It's been a couple weeks since I've done a live video, so thought it's about time. Hey, even got a couple people in the room. Rise over here first. How you doing, man? Rise over here. 305 is in the room. So yeah, guys, tonight something personal happened to me. If you saw the my thumbnail thing for this, so I got a collect call from my brother today, and he's in jail. And I'm gonna show you some pictures and an article and stuff like that. Let's see if a few more people come in the room. And I've been getting lots of calls from you guys who watch my videos. I appreciate that. Don't don't feel like you can't call me, because even though I'm working full time, I still am taking the calls. I try to answer people back on emails. And I got 6 people on Core Links now that are on the inside that I've done interviews with, and I'll cover some. I'm going to read some of those emails to you today. Larry McGee just reached out to me today. Hey Matthew, how we doing? How come your brother is in jail? I'm gonna tell you. Oh man, uh, he's got a assault on a police officer. Oh, I'm gonna tell you that in just a minute, guys. Jordan, how we doing? Hey Sean, sorry to hear about your brother, man. My brother is in the feds right now. Heard from him last week for the first time in 3 years. Jordan, I thought we were going to do a video. Let's do one tomorrow if you got time. I never got a call from you. If you need my number, it's on the description of all my videos. But if you still want to do that video, let's do it tomorrow if you can, Jordan. Yeah, you heard from your brother, heard from him last week for the first time in 3 years. Wow. Billy's in the room. Keep up the good work. Hey, Billy, how we doing? All right. Good. Wow, 10 people in the room. I like it. I see 10 people. Man, that's great. Thanks, guys. I see one thumb up, one like, and there's 10 people. So if the other 9 of you hit that like button. Anyways, it's your brother. We got questions, and I'm gonna tell you all. I got some pictures of my brother in prison. In jail. I got the whole story. Man, it's I can't believe it's him. Vince is in the room. Hey, Sean, happy to see you're back on a Friday night. Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing a Friday night, guys. The thing was, I've been working full time. I was laid off for like a year, so I had time to do all these videos. Now I'm working, but I don't want to stop doing these videos because you guys keep calling me that need help. Family members are calling me. Wives are calling me. I got a call from a mother today. Monique, she's I don't know if you're listening to Monique, but I know what you're going through. Her 18-year-old son is in. He's got a fed charge for drugs and a gun, but they're holding him in the detention center. Hopefully, they're going to let him out on pretrial. But I don't want to get too personal with her story. But I know what she's going through, and her son is probably not going to go to a camp because he's only 18 years old. Hopefully, he goes to a low. We went over some of the points. She called me, and I was going over the custody level points. You need 1 to 11 points to get in the camp, 11 to 16 for a low, 16 to 20 for a medium, and anything past 21, you go to the USP. I think her son's right around a low. Hopefully, it's not a medium, because if an 18-year-old son, if he goes to a medium, or let alone the USP, he will not come out the same. He'll be fresh meat in there. He'll have to join a gang to survive. And 18 years old, they're both, you know what I mean. You're you could be influenced. 18 years old, you're gonna join a gang in prison to survive. He'll get in that revolving door, and he'll never get out of prison. He'll be, it'll be a life sentence, just in portions. You know what I mean? That revolving door. We don't want her son to go. He can make it through a camp alone and come out good on the other side. See, more questions here arise. Which prison YouTubers do you watch? I watch Larry Lawton. I watch 23-1. I watch After Prison Show, Fresh Out, OCB. There's a couple of women I watch. Can't remember the names. I'm quite a fan. But I watch a lot. RDAP Dan. Of course, I watch RDAP Dan. I watch Phoenix Fed. She's got a new channel, and she's gonna come on the show. And Fed Phoenix. I said that wrong. Audrey, if you're listening, I said your channel wrong. Fed Phoenix, and she's on pretrial and she's facing prison time. She started a channel. She's got some really good information. Snowbird Bob. Hey, Snowbird Bob. Hey, Sean, my sentencing got put off from July 6th till sometime in August. I'm hoping it's going to mean better news. Sometimes they're putting things off because of COVID. Um, they're starting to prosecute more cases now, and the courtrooms are getting full. And then I don't know if that's better news, man. I don't think it's bad news, but I don't think it's better news. Hate to tell you that. It could be. Rise over here 305. People with tax fraud charges go to the camp or low minimum security, correct? Well, depends. You could, if you get 10 years or more, you got to go to a low. You got to have a 10-year sentence or less to go to a camp. So it depends. And if they got a big criminal history and their points go way up, I mean, if they're first offenders and your normal kind of tax fraud, yeah, they're probably looking at 3 to 5 years. But, you know, it just depends on their criminal history and stuff. So let me tell you guys what's going on with me, and I'll get some of your questions. I'm going to show you. Since I'm live, I don't have the software to pull up a clip, so I'm going to hold things up. So I got a little brother, guys, and me and my brother have been on and off drugs over the years. As you guys know, and I'm in recovery, and I got like 4.5 years clean and sober now, and I go to AA, and I'm not here to preach to you, but drugs ruined my life, and prison actually helped me turn my life around. I kind of needed to go to prison. I don't know if I would have stopped. I was doing a lot of meth and, you know, and drinking and all that stuff. And prison gave me a chance to clean up, to detox. And I've been in some drug programs before, and they worked for a while, maybe a year or two. I get a job, things get going good again, and I get back on the drugs. I think I've turned my life around now. 57, about time. Now, my brother's 53 years old. I'm going to show you a picture of my brother about 10 years ago. Okay, his name's Patrick Cowgill, just like me. Kind of like a good-looking guy, right? Look at him today. Well, last week in the paper. This is him, guys. Is that like Charles Manson or what? That's my little fucking brother, man. And here's what the headline reads. Can you read what it says there? It says, Paris police officer remains hospitalized. Dover man arrested after disturbance call. So he's got an assault on a police officer. And I'm going to read you the story from the article. That's what drugs do to you guys. Don't do meth, okay? I probably looked like that at one time. That's my little brother, man. And and here's my little brother again, just so you know. Here's before. All right, that's before. That's when he's clean and sober. That's today. Well, the 16th, he got arrested. He called me collect today, and I answered. I've been getting these calls on my phone, and it said inmate services. I didn't know what it was. So it was him. And so he moved out to Tennessee. And, you know, now I get to be able to help him. Hopefully, here's the thing. When a drug addict goes to jail, families get to sleep at night. You finally get to rest. Because he's been calling me up over the last year at 3 a.m, guys, tweaking, telling me they're looking through the window, they're coming, they've got my phone tapped. There's cameras in the trees. They're looking at. He's calling me 3 a.m. He's telling me to call the FBI. He can't. I mean, he's been. I don't know how to deal with it. You know. Once in a while, he'd call me after he slept it off for 3 days. He sounded normal. And today he called me, and it was my little brother talking again. He's got to sleep for 6 days in jail, and I actually want him to stay there a while. He's talking about if they reduce his bond to 5,000, he might be able to bond something. I could sleep tonight knowing he's not going to die. I mean, this is what he became, guys. You know, from this to this. And a lot of parents out there, wives, husbands, you got your children are on drugs. When they get arrested, man, we get to sleep. You know they're in a safe place. And, you know, it's a terrible thing. And that's the time to turn your life around. That's the time to think about it. Think about what you've done with your life, how you've ruined your life, but how you can turn it around. And if you use that time wisely, and I talk about it in a lot of my videos, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about today, all the programs you can take, and you know, but it's not just that. I mean, you can find God in prison. Now, don't become a Bible thumper and all that. You could find God, you could find spirituality, you could find a higher power, you could find yourself. Most of all, you can find your soul while you're in prison, believe it or not, in any prison. It's a lot easier in the camp because you're free to walk around, outside in the trees and nature and all that stuff. I'm going to read you this article about what his charges, because they're pretty brutal. They're pretty brutal. So it says he's in Paris, Tennessee. It's Henry County Jail. Here's what it says, guys. So I'm just going to read it to you. Paris police have provided more details in a disturbance call at a motel, which resulted in injury to a Paris police lieutenant and the arrest of a Doberman Thursday morning. Lieutenant Tony Elkins remains at Jackson-Madison County Hospital, to which he was transferred Thursday afternoon. He initially was taken to Henry County Medical Center immediately after the injury. Patrick Cowgill, my brother, was charged with aggravated assault, public intoxication, disorderly conduct, and unlawful drug paraphernalia. His bond is $5,000, and he is to be in court on July 22nd. Now, that was yesterday. He said they raised his bond to $22,000. He's hoping they bring it back down to $5,000. I actually hope they keep it at $22,000. He needs the detox. You saw those pictures. I'll show you again if you're just coming in. According to the press release, Paris City units were dispatched to the Knights Inn at 409 Tyson Avenue, referenced as a disorderly tenant causing problems. When officers arrived, they spoke with management, who told them that the occupant from room 227 had been disturbing the other guests and playing music on his speakers late at night, bothering the guest, according to the press release. Management advised that they had approached the subject and talked to him about the problems, and he became irate with them. Management requested that the officers make the subject leave the property due to the problems. So my brother was telling me today he has an electric guitar and he was playing and jamming in a motel, loud as fuck, high on drugs, high as a case. He's been up for 5 days at least. Patrolman Colton Weirick made contact with the subject, who was identified as Patrick Cowgill. Weirick advised Cowgill that he was causing disturbance to the other guests and he needed to gather his things and leave the property. Cowgill was argumentative with Weirick and apparently confused as to what day it was, not knowing that it was in fact his checkout date. As Weirick continued to talk with Cowgill, he observed that he was very fidgety. His pupils were dilated and he was unable to complete full sentences. Cowgill presented symptoms of being under the influence of some form of intoxicant, according to police. When Lieutenant Tony Elkins arrived on the scene, he again advised Cowgill that he needed to gather his things and leave the property. Cowgill advised he needed about an hour to gather his things to leave, which the officers granted him and stood by in the parking lot to deter any further disturbance. So he hadn't been arrested yet, and they were actually, so the cops know he's tweaking, and they're not going to do anything, and they said, get your shit and get out of here. But wait, there's more. Cowgill, instead of gathering his things to leave, like a tweaker does, began leaning over the second floor railing and yelling at the officers in the parking lot. Cowgill was given multiple warnings and opportunities to continue gathering his things to leave, but refused to comply. The officers then went to arrest Cowgill for disorderly conduct, and upon reaching the top of the stairs, the officers then went to place handcuffs on Cowgill. He resisted by locking his arms onto the railing to prevent his hands from being placed behind his back. Patrolman Weirick attempted to use his taser, but it was ineffective. And during the struggle, Cowgill grabbed the taser, causing Weirick to drop it on the sidewalk. Not good. A lengthy struggle ensued between the officers and Cowgill before backup units arrived on the scene to help restrain Cowgill, according to the press release. In the aftermath, Cowgill was checked by Henry County EMS for some blood from his head, but refused treatment and was eventually transported to the jail. Lieutenant Elkins was unable to catch his breath and was very lightheaded after the struggle and was transported to the HCMC emergency room for evaluation. Later in the day, Elkins was transported to Jackson-Madison County Hospital by ambulance for further tests, where he remains at the time of his press release. Cowgill was charged with aggravated assault, public intoxication, disorderly conduct, and unlawful drug paraphernalia. His bond is $5,000. He is in court July 22nd. Well, that was yesterday. His bond's $22,000 now. Assault. They didn't charge him with assault on an officer. It just says aggravated assault. Well, I know. It looks like my brother's going to prison, and whether he gets out on a bond or not, I'll show you guys who's just joining. Here's my brother. Look at that. I can't believe that's my little brother. Here's my little brother like 10 years ago. You know, that's when he's not on drugs. That's when he's on drugs. I mean, what a difference. So, guys, yeah, you know, now I get to help a family member out. So he called me, you know, I told him I'm going to put $50 on his books. I can at least do that for me. He gave me a number of a lawyer to call, which I did. And the lawyer called back. And the lawyer's sending somebody from his office to go see him tomorrow. So my brother says all his stuff's in the motel. He's been living there like a month because he got kicked out of the last place he was at. He says they towed his car. He's been on SSI. He's been getting 5150 money, if you guys know what that is. So Social Security will pay somebody for mentally illness. And then he worked for the electrical union. He was getting a pension because he retired early. Anyways, told me he was getting $3,000 to $4,000 a month for everything. Nobody's seen him in like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. The family, and he went off to Tennessee. He was in Kentucky. He was in Idaho. He's been running around in search of whatever we're in search of, and he's had a drug problem. But I've seen him clean and sober. Matter of fact, 8 years ago, right after I got indicted, my brother was clean and sober. I was not. I was on drugs, you know, and I got indicted, and you know, I got evicted from my house because all these feds came, or Treasury agents came, and they raided my house, and I got a 60-day. I just said the word. I got an eviction, so I got evicted from the house. I tried to sell what I could off Craigslist. I put the rest in storage, and then I didn't have the money, so the feds froze all my bank accounts. And within 2 weeks after I got indicted, I found myself homeless in a park with a $20 bag of meth, right, and a phone that had about 10% charge on it, and a bag of just one bag of everything I had, and I didn't show up for court, and the marshals were looking for me. What's that? Maybe 7 years ago. My brother called me, and I answered. And I told him what was going on, and he told me, go find a drug program. He told me that when I was clean and sober, I was a good guy. And he hated to see me like that. And I told him, fuck you. I'm not doing no drug program. And I don't care what they do to me. I remember telling him, I'll just go jump off the freeway right now. My life's over. I'm going to prison. I don't care if the marshals catch me. That's how I felt that day. And I hung up the phone on him, and I didn't talk to him until I got out of prison. And if you guys know the rest of the story, I called the public defender, and he told me to turn myself in, and he'd get me in a drug program. If I got in the program, they'd let me out on pretrial, and I did that. I finished the meth, and I did what drug addicts do, and I used every so all the money was gone, because I sold a couple things out of the storage unit, and anyways. Turned myself in like on a Monday. I did 3 weeks at a detention center, county jail. And they let me out to go to a program called Newbridge. It was a TAC therapy drug program. I did 6 months there, and then I stayed on pretrial for 3 more years. And I had a couple little slips on some alcohol, but pretrial didn't do nothing. And then when I finally got to prison, you know, I stayed clean and sober the whole time, and did my 3 years in prison, and I've been out 1.5 years now, and I got like 4.5 years. I started AA meetings in prison. Now you watch my videos. I'm just giving you the short story. But I did it. I turned it around, and now today the roles are reversed. Now my brother's on drugs, and he's in jail, and he's calling me for help, and I'm telling him, and he's telling me that he wants to clean up. And he says he's sorry for everything he's done to me and the family, and he really wants help. And I know that desperate feeling, especially when you're in jail, and he's just lost everything. And but he actually wants help. I told my brother, fuck you, 7 years ago. Today I get to tell him I love you and I'm clean and sober and I'll help you. And if you want help, I'm there for you. So, it's what it is, and I try to help a bunch of guys here on YouTube. A lot of you guys, I know these questions are coming here. I'm going to answer them in a minute, guys. But, I try to turn it all around. And I'm 57 years old. I've been to prison. Everything's been taken from me. I'm slowly getting, I got a job washing dishes, saved up to get a car. I live in a clean and sober house now. And, we got roommates here, but I'm doing the steps to get my life back. So I started doing these videos to help other people that are on pretrial going through what I went through, I kind of look for the non-violent people, but I help anybody. I get calls from guys that are going to be going to the USP too. I help them as best I can. But I know what it is like to be on pretrial for all those years, not knowing if you're getting probation or 10 years or 5 years, and your family doesn't think you're going to prison, and nobody believes you because you've been out for 2 years on pretrial, and they keep putting it off, put the court date off, this and that. You want it to end, and you can't start a new relationship, you can't start a job because you're going to prison. But nobody thinks you are, man. I know that feeling. And then you got 100 questions that your lawyer won't answer, public defender won't answer. I mean, just what's it like to go to the bathroom in prison? That lawyer doesn't know that, So I put out these videos, and you want to know about programs and how do I get time off and how do I write a letter to the judge? What do I say to the judge I'm sending to you? So I got all these videos I do, and then I take your calls, I answer your emails and comments, and just trying to give back, guys. And I'm not charging nobody for nothing. Yes, there's a super chat you could put on there, you want to donate a couple bucks, or I have a Venmo, but I'm not like a prison consultant. I'm not trying to get 10 grand out of you or nothing like that. So call me, email me, all that stuff's in the description below. Underneath all my videos, I have links to how to write a letter to the judge, what to say to the judge, how to figure out your custody level points, your sentencing points, all kinds of resources down there. It's like 30 of them. So check all that out, and all that stuff's free. I don't charge. All that stuff there costs you 10 grand if you go to Justin Papperny. You're one of those, I call him Justin Take Your Money. Don't hire that guy ever. If you are going to hire a prison consultant, I only recommend RGAP Dan or Walt Pavlo because those guys helped me for free while I was on pretrial. So let me see some questions here. So now I've ranted and raved. Wow, there was a whole bunch of stuff here while I was talking. So let me scroll up here and see where I'm at. I got Vince, Snowbird Bomb, I read that. I think we have Rise Over Here 305. Which state has the highest meth addiction? California. Man, well, every little county in California, we got this like Lake County. They say they got the biggest meth head. Shasta County, Smith, Tuolumne County, Modesto, Stockton does, and the states are the same way. Oh no, Tennessee has it, Arkansas has it, Idaho has it. A lot of your Midwest states have it, but the big cities do too. And I mean, how do you get a correct answer? You're going to take a poll off tweakers that are on meth? Are they going to be? I don't know. It's just widespread throughout the whole country. I heard Hawaii's got a big problem. If you Google it, that's every state does, and it's sometimes it's the rural counties, but sometimes go to San Francisco in the Tenderloin district. There's meth everywhere, but fentanyl's number 2, and opium and all that. I mean, they're all competing, and there's still crack. Oakland has a big meth problem. New York City does. Upstate New York, little towns, it's everywhere, man. So I don't, that's my answer. And he says, damn, meth ages people. Yeah, I showed you a picture of my brother. So he's 53. Sean Weiss from Mighty Ducks did meth, and he looks 75 years old when he's like 43. Yep. I was an alcoholic for 9 years, and I'm sober now for 10 months. Right on. You got 10 months. That's hard to get, man. That's hard to get. I go to this meeting on Thursday nights, the AA meeting, and everybody there has been to prison. And now we're out of prison. So if you leave me a comment down below, and I'll send you the link. It's on Zoom. It's Thursday nights at 7, and we'd love to have you. All of us have been to prison, and we're all AA members, and we help each other, and we You know what I mean? It's a regular AA meeting. Anybody can come, but the theme is people who have been to prison. And the guy who was the facilitator did 40 years in San Quentin. He's coming on my channel maybe this weekend. He keeps saying maybe this weekend, but he's really turned his life around. 40 years in San Quentin. And he doesn't even, and he's a nice guy, and he's not hard or anything like that. He started that meeting. So his name's Ken. I hope to get him on here soon. Jordan says, rise over here to 5. Missouri is really, really bad. At one point, Independence, Missouri was considered the meth capital of the world, according to people from Missouri. Because, like I just said, I think California, Lake County, that's Clear Lake, they got a pretty bad rap. But there's all kinds of other little counties. Said, at Jordan Revere, I thought it was California, Florida. Yeah, I mean, it depends who you're going to ask. Now, if you go by arrest records, how many people have been arrested for meth, you can get that number. But how many people never get caught? So, you know what I mean? There's that little world of meth addicts that never get caught, and and so you got to consider them. So if you're going to go by the numbers of arrests, yeah, maybe it was Missouri. Let's see. Congrats on the sobriety, brother. I'm 88 days sober from alcohol. Right on. Jordan, you are 88 days. So Thursday nights, that AA meeting, leave me a comment or call me. I'll give you the link to the Zoom meeting. Love to see you guys there. What is influencing drug addiction worldwide? Not sure how to answer that one. Is it the media influencing drug addiction plus peer pressure too? Well, I mean, some people blame it on Afghanistan, believe it or not. When we went over there 20 years ago and we helped them grow with their poppy plant crops, we helped them grow more pop. That was their prime source of income, and I guess Russia had them ruined all the poppy plant crops. We went over there and helped them rebuild. And they make opium out of them, fentanyl and poppies. Some people blame it on the Mexican border. Some people blame it on supply and demand. Some people say it's because they don't do anything till the senator's son gets hooked on meth. All of a sudden, they want to crack down on it. I don't really have the answer. Damn, I'm assuming your brother's going to state prison. I think he's going to go state prison too, man. I sold on an officer, and the officer they had moved from one hospital to another hospital. I can't believe they even gave him a bond. And the charge doesn't say, it just says aggravated assault. It doesn't say assault on an officer. That's Tennessee. It must be Paris, Tennessee. It's a little town, I guess. Man, if that thing happened in Oakland or San Francisco, if the news got a hold of that, assault on an officer like that, and he's even got bail. I don't get it, but let's see. State prison medium and maximum, federal prison medium and maximum, and USP prison are the worst. Yes, even the county jail is worse. Yeah, because in county jail you don't get to go outside. You get you're locked up in this. So my brother told me they got him in the shoe. He says he's in this lockdown, and they're letting him out for an hour a day to use the phone or take a shower. And he's in the shoe right now because his charges. You saw this picture. If you guys are just, I'm going to show you guys one more time. Any new people on here? So here's my brother in prison. I mean, in jail right now, guys. It's my little brother. Can't believe that's him. Here he is when he's not on drugs, guys. Yeah, that picture was maybe 10 years ago. But he shouldn't look like this 10 years later. He's 53, but man, he's scared. I wouldn't want to meet my own. I wouldn't want to run into him in a dark alley. I almost didn't recognize him when I pulled it up on the newspaper. So yeah, guys, I got a question. I need your help. I got a question. So I know all about how to put money on inmates' books in federal prison. How do I put $50 on my brother's books? He's at Henry County jail, the jail in Henry County, Tennessee. I went online and there's all these websites and I don't even trust them. And it says inmate search and this and that. And then they want you to join their membership and how to put money. Do I use JPay? I heard maybe JPay. I want to put $50 on his books online. You know, he's in Tennessee. So if anybody knows how to put money on a county jail books, let me know or put it in the comments because I don't know how to do that. You know, I got a debit card and like I said, I've only known how to put money in on federal prison books. So let's see. Trump pardoned nonviolent criminals from prison. Yeah, he did. I heard he did some. So did Barack Biden. All presidents pardoned inmates. Trump did the First Step Act, though, and a lot of inmates. You know, the big thing about the First Step Act is when people got caught for crack as opposed to cocaine. So let's say you had 50 grams of crack, you get 25 years in federal prison. But if you had 50 grams of powder cocaine, you might only get 5 years. So that First Step Act changed all that and made it the same. So now the same guy who was getting 25 years, he's been in there 15 years. He got 10 years to go. Trump came into the First Step Act. That guy got released. That was the big deal with the First Step Act. It also has the programs to give you the earned time credits. For every 30 days of program, you get 10 days towards halfway house or home confinement. That's another thing the First Step Act did. But it really helped those people with the crack and the cocaine charges. That's something Trump did that I really he made it more fair because I mean, you know, like I said, you know, 25 years for the same amount of crack. That the same, you know, like I said, the guy's got a bag of crack and a bag of coke. They weigh the same, but the crack gives you 25 years, and you only get 5 years for the powder cocaine. So Trump did change that. Rise over here already hit the like button. Thank you. I got 9 likes. All right, I like that. Let's see. USP is vicious. Chad Marks mentioned an inmate got killed for no reason at all at USP. Public federal prison happens all the time. Canada has an opiate problem, especially in Toronto and Vancouver. Fentanyl is the big one now. It's coming up. Jordan says, I'm going to call you tomorrow to set up an interview. Great, Jordan. You got my number, Jordan? Matthew, hey, Sean, sorry to hear about your brother. We all need help at times. If you need help, feel free to reach out. Happy to help. Thank you, Matt. Matt, do I have your number? I don't know. I talked to so many people. I might have your number on my phone, but thank you. Jordan says, I will call the jail tomorrow and ask to be sure. You'll call the jail tomorrow and ask to be sure? Oh, what did I miss there? I'm missing something. I'll get your number from one of the videos. Yeah, okay. I'm still trying to scroll down. Man, I like all these questions. Matthew says, yes, I will make sure you have my number. Jordan says, no, I meant you should call them. Yeah. Oh, if you were me, I would call. I get. Yeah, I have the number for the jail, but I decided to do this video, and then I will call the jail. It's probably the best way. Ask them. Um, yeah, I'll do that. You know, and you know, hopefully, my brother means what he said tonight when he wants help. He could get off the drugs because I mean, look what they did to those drugs. I mean, that's just. There's one thing, you know. There's recreational use. You saw those pictures, man. That's just, oh God. Do you know Sean Atwood? No, I do not. Sorry, I don't. I do not. I want to talk. See, I got some Core Links mail. I want to read to you guys. Some guys that are in here I've done interviews with these guys. Let me pull up. So on my phone, if you guys don't know, if you go into federal prison, they have an email system. Now, it's not your normal kind of email. It's called True Links. So in every federal prison, they have these rooms that have these little terminals, you know, with a keyboard and a video screen. It does a few different things. There's a bulletin board. You can read all about inmate news and what's going on. Also has MP3 songs that you can download. So you go on this thing and you type by 70s music or rock music or soul music or country music, and it has all these song samples and charges from $1 to $2 for every song. Plug your MP3 player in there, and they take the $1 or $2 out of your account, and it downloads the song onto your MP3 player. And got it, Matt. Matthew just sent me something. Let's see here. Okay, Matt. Yeah, I did have your number. I will. I already had you on here. All your messages. If you guys could see the messages I got on here, man. I don't know if you can see, but these are all from. It's not going to show, but I got. It's not showing. Too bright. But anyways, um, you wouldn't be. I know there's 100 people that have messaged me from YouTube, and I've been doing these videos about 8 or 9 months. I'm pretty sure I've talked to 100 people, close to it, anyways. And that's just, man, that amazes me that even one person calls me for, and I can do something to help somebody else, man. Even one person. The first time I got a call from somebody, I'll never forget. And I've been watching your videos. I said, I've only done like 3 videos. Yeah, but you really helped me. The first ones I did was my first day in prison. I did a part 1 and a part 2. Somebody called me and said, thank you, man. I didn't know what prison was going to be like. I know I'm going to camp and I'm going like in 2 weeks. Man, your video really helped me. And I'm like, wow, really? Man, and that just inspired me to do another one. And then every time you guys call me, man, don't you just give me a purpose in life. It's like, I don't know, God's working through me, through you. Um, I mean, I'm just a guy who like kind of ruined his life with drugs and alcohol. I never stopped to get married and have kids because I was too busy getting high. And when I meet a woman that wanted to marry me, I was engaged 3 different times. I pushed them away. I put up walls because I knew they were going to leave me anyways, or they were high on drugs. And I just never stopped, man. I'd get a good job, I'd get a car, I'd get my own place. I've had some really nice places. And then I get back on the alcohol or the drugs and I lose it all again. It's been like that. And now, but now I've had more. 4.5 years clean and sober. I've never had that amount of clean time ever. So who knows where the world's going to take me now? You know what I mean? And the prison turned my life around. I used prison to do positive things. And some of my videos I've talked about that, man. But that's the time when you got no bills, you got no stress. You got the stress of your family and everything that's out there, but you don't. They give you three meals. They give you a bed. They give you blankets. They give you clothes. Yeah, they tell you when you can use the bathroom or when you can't, but you got all that time to just work on you. You don't have to worry about material things. Although people do, they want to buy these new shoes that the commissary has. Want to buy new songs on the MP3. It's going to happen, but it's not like it is out in the world. You use that time to work on yourself. Take classes, take programs. Go to, what? So they had about 12 different religious services at my camp. I took the time to check every one out, man. Okay, I went to a Buddha one. I went to a Jewish one. I went to the Mormons. I went to the Lutherans. I went to the Baptists. I went to the Catholic. Right. I even did the Wiccan. And what was the other one? Astroth or something. It's where they Thor, right? The Native Americans let me sit in on one of their sweat lodges, man. You know what I mean? I tried and I did a couple different. I did like 3 or 4 sessions on each one. I just wanted to check out religion and see the different ways people. Oh, I'm Muslim. I went to quite a few Muslim services. You know what I mean? And I read the Quran, and I read the Bible, and I read the Torah, and I just explored everything, man. You know what I mean? And that's just part of the thing I did. But at federal prison, they had all these opportunities. So I did that. Um, I took every class I possibly could. Every program. I exercised. I walked the track. I prayed, and I switched who I was praying to, different gods. Well, I just prayed to whatever was listening. And I worked on myself, and I wrote a ton of letters. I wrote 20 letters a month. So I wrote to like drug counselors from rehabs I had been in. I had AA friends to write to. I had a bunch of cousins and my aunt who I was never really close to, but I wrote to all of them, and I wrote to their kids. I had a few friends that still talk to me. I wrote letters to them. I found 20 different people to write to, and and I checked it. I had a list, and I checked it off so almost every day I'm writing a letter. And everybody wrote me back, but some people only wrote me once every 6 months. Some people, some people wrote back every month. I wrote to RDAP Dan every month. I wrote to Wal Pablo every month. So I did all these things, man, and I worked on myself. So to go into prison, that's some advice. Let me see where I'm at here. Do you think legalizing drug will reduce the stigma of drug addiction? Maybe. What's it doing with marijuana right now? The 38 states it's legal in, the 14 that have a recreational. I don't know. Drug addiction is an illness, not a crime. Marriage rates are getting decreased in the Western countries. Marriage rates, yeah, the average marriage now is probably 4 years. Yeah, those are good questions, that you're asking there. Rise over here, 305. I could make a video on each one, man. But you know what I mean? And now, do you think legalizing drug use will reduce the stigma of drug addiction? That's a debate that they've been talking about that 50 years, ever since the 60s. They've been, wondering, well, we make them legal, what's going to happen? Yeah, there won't be as many people in jail, but is going to be chaos out there on the streets? People still they got to find a way to get the drugs, even if they're legal. So maybe if we gave the drugs away free, you give everybody an 8-ball of their choice of drug a week, 1 8-ball a week, free for anybody who wants it, and free housing, and free food, and free clothing, and just keep them all in one city, and then everything will be good. If you want to use drugs, you go to like the city of Los Angeles, all camped in here. Food, clothing, housing, drugs are free. Everything's free. Just stay there, guys. Is that an answer? I don't know. Is the third world countries divorce is stigmatized? Yeah. So let me get to these core links things here. Redo what's going on with guys that are in custody. I mean, yeah, they're in the feds right now. I've done interviews with all of them. Oh, I got a new one too. Just got one that came in. Larry McGee, because he just sent me the request today. So when you're in there and you want to email somebody on the outside, first you got to send a request to their email address. So on my Gmail today, core links came up and it says, you have a request from an inmate in a federal prison. And it was Larry McGee. Do you accept? And I hit accept. And it said pending. And it took a few hours. And he just says, hey, brother, this is Larry. Hey there, what's going on? How are you? And let's answer it right now. So this is how core links works. You can talk, text. He'll get this. And it's going to take maybe an hour for him to get this back. They hit the button here. And I can talk text it. Hey, Larry, this is Sean. Got your first email today. Brother, I am live right now on YouTube talking about you, doing this core links letter back to you. So let me know if you are out of the shoe. Sounds like it. Your wife called me and was worried. It had been 3 weeks. You were still in the shoe. And were they going to send you back to the camp? So let me know. Are you in the camp? There's a debate that you only went to the medium and we're not going to go to the camp. I know I'm dragging on tech talksing. Pause it because I'm blabbing. So Larry, let me know if I can look something up on Google or the internet, cut and paste and send it back to you. If you need me to call anybody on the outside, give me their number and I will relay the messages. Whatever I can do for you, brother. Good to hear from you. I hope you're doing well. I'll wait to hear back. Sean. All right, and I'm just going to send that. And now I just talked to an email to an inmate in prison. So, got a guy, see, Jonathan was in the shoe. Where did that go now? Back from the hole. Let me read here. Hey, guys. Hi, everyone, because he wants me to read this to you guys. I just got back to the camp today. Last Wednesday, they did a urine drug test. The instant result showed that 9 of us inmates were dirty for at least one drug, including me. All of a sudden, we all got rounded up and sent to the prison to the SHU, solitary confinement cells, cuffed, orange jumpsuit, and all. I was about to lose my early release date, and it would have been changed to the next February. I insisted that I was innocent, that it was a false positive, that there is absolutely no way I would risk my good conduct record for any drugs here. They sent the test to an outside lab for confirmation, and the test came back negative. My September release date is still on, and I got back to the camp today. Although a lot of my property was thrown away and or taken, that happens when people get packed up out of the camp, but it's good to be back. 54 days until release. So, guys, yeah, they will drug test you in prison now and then. He said they drug tested 9 guys. I'm thinking snitch. When they grab 9 guys, they got some information. They do random drug test. I was there 3 years. I never got tested, ever. I seen guys go away on their furlough pass for like a funeral. There was a couple guys got these religious weekend furlough passes. They got to go off with their wife for the weekend and come back and didn't get tested. They didn't get drug tested when they got back. If you want to know how to get a weekend off from prison, I got a video, and it's called a weekend furlough pass, and they're real. And I won't get into all the details, but the video talks about it. I got the applications under my links in the description. There's even an application for a social furlough to get out of prison they give you like 3 days. It could be for a wedding. It could be because your daughter's having a baby. There's different reasons you can get a social furlough. You have to be there for at least, so you got to have 18 months left. You have to have 18 months to be released. Your release day has to be within 18 months. Because I guess they think you're not going to run. You're getting out in a year and a half. And you have to be have no shots, no write-ups, no disciplinary action. You have to have served at least 1 year in prison. So you got to prove, so. But the application is in the links below, and I have a video on it. Just go to my homepage, hit videos, and look for weekend furlough. Sorry about that. Red Bull gives you wings, by the way. Red Bull, if you want to send me a case of the sugar-free Red Bull, because I really like this stuff, and I'll do commercials for you. So anyways, yeah, they tested 9 guys, and there was another message here. He told me that a couple of them were dirty. Let's see if I can find that. No, I don't know where that one, but I got a lot of them. But I wanted to talk about what happens when you do go to the SHU. So apparently, they grab these 9 guys, send them all to the SHU, and then they do an investigation. And that can last 30 to 90 days. Apparently, his investigation only lasted a couple of weeks because they got the test back from the urine results. So he said 4 of them were dirty, and they're still in the SHU. 5 of them were not. I don't know which drug that they did. That spice stuff is kind of popular in prisons right now. K2, it could have been that because a lot of those guys smoke that and they fall down the stairs, and the correctional officer sees them, and that could be. And they caught a guy that was stumbling, and he told on 8 guys. I'm sure somebody, when it's 9 guys, somebody told on. And whoever it is going to get beat up pretty bad. He won't get shanked, or they're not going to kill him, but they're going to beat him up pretty bad. I'm telling you that, whoever it was, that's how they do it, even in the camp. So keep your mouth shut, man. Mind your own business. All right? If guys are drinking or smoking or gambling or talking on the cell phone, you got to keep that to you. You know what? If you want to tell on somebody whatever you did before you went to federal prison, it happens. Especially in the camp. Everybody's telling everybody at their office gets raided. Oh, no, the boss made me do it. No, she made me do it. He made me do it. Well, 3 of them are doing more than I'm doing. I get it. It happens. And when you get to the camp, you put all that behind you and keep your mouth shut, right? I'd smoked cigarettes when I was in prison. I don't want nobody telling on me. That was my thing. I wasn't an angel. I smoked cigarettes, but they were cheap in there. Believe it or not, it's about $2 or $3 for one real Marlboro. I could get a pack of Marlboros for $40. Sometimes when it was dry, it might be 60, $80 for a pack, but $40 is like the average price. That's for a pack of Marlboro in a federal prison. Now, in the USP, it's going to cost you $20 for a real cigarette if you could find one. Normally, they're going to sell you these rollies. Those are like $10, and it's a toothpick, and there's nothing there. But in the camp, we don't have fences, so we don't need the guards to bring things in. Everything's dropped off at the side of the road. At night, somebody goes and picks it up and brings it in. And this is not news. The guards know this happens. It's not that they don't look the other way. They just don't have the manpower because by law they can't have a fence around the camp. Although I've heard there's 2 camps that have fences. So, anyways, so he goes to the shoe, and while he's at the shoe, everybody goes to his locker and takes his thing. They took his commissary. Now, every locker, he might not have had a padlock on his locker. They sell you these combination locks. And he may have got, when they got these 9 people, he might have been at the gym or walking the track. He might not have had a chance to go back to his housing and lock his locker up. They don't give you time to pack your stuff. They grab you and they cuff you and they take you to the shoe. So had they came to his cell, his cubicle, then he might have time to lock up his locker. I'm thinking he didn't have time to lock up his locker, or he didn't have a lock. So they went through everything and they stole. Because when they take people to shoe, it's 30, 60, 90 days. And if you don't have buddies in there watching your back, so when I was in there, somebody went to the shoe, they always had somebody that would grab their stuff and keep it safe. Even if it's for 3 months or 6 months, guys will hold on to your stuff. There's loyalty in there. When the guy finally gets out of the shoe, or they get a word that they send him to the low, they'll take your stuff and they'll bring it to the front office and they'll get it shipped to whatever facility they sent that inmate to. Guys will do that for each other. They didn't do that for Jonathan. So I don't know. It's not that they just took advantage of him. But he's got 54 days left, so he can give a fuck. He probably could give a fuck. He's going home, and he went to the shoe. It's a pretty good attitude for a guy. What did he say? 9 days in the shoe or something. Pretty good attitude. Let me see what I got on here. I heard Portugal legalized drug use. Oh, I'll have to look that up. Jordan says it's Larry Grown Little Boy Show. Yeah. That's Larry McGee. We just sent him the Corrlinks thing. That's right. Grown Little Boy Show. Rise over here says in certain European countries, drug use is not the stigmatized, and there is real rehabilitation. USA is all about punishment and vengeance. Think United States puts more people in prison per capita than any other country in the world. And I've seen little shows on a prison in Norway and Sweden and stuff, and it looks like a little condo apartment, man. They got it good. But then I've seen pictures. Have you watched Locked Up Abroad? Some of those prisons in third worlds and stuff, South American countries, man, I wouldn't want to go there either. So, maybe we're all lucky to be here, but it's the world we live in. So how are we doing on time? It's almost 8:00. I was only going to do this for an hour. And any more questions, guys? I'm going to give 5 more minutes, and I'm going to go eat my dinner, call it a night. Hopefully tomorrow you'll see a video with me and Jordan, if you're up for it. And if not, I will do a video. I'm going to do a couple videos this weekend. I promise, this time for sure. And I'm going to do a video all about commissary, what to order when you first get there, how much it's going to cost you, what you should get, what you don't need till later, and how to order commissary on a budget for under $100 a month, $50 a month, and a $20 a month commissary budget, how you can survive in prison on $20 a month in federal prison, because that's about what they pay you per month for any of the jobs. But there's little hustles and ways to get more money. Matthew says, what's for dinner? So I got some chicken breast that's been marinating in lemon juice, olive oil, a little bit of balsamic vinegar. I got Italian seasoning on there, a little bit of extra basil, and then I'm gonna bake it in the oven. And I got these crinkle French fries. I'm gonna put that in the oven, and a zucchini that I cut in half, and I put some olive oil and basil on that, and I throw it all in the oven, and then it'll be ready in a half an hour. That's my dinner. Jordan says, "What's for dinner?" Haha, yes, for sure. Rise over here. South American prisons, inmates will drown inmates convicted of child crimes like molestation and murder. I wish every child molester should be drowned. Yes, I agree. What's this? Message is held for review. So Rise over here, they got something. Your message is held for review. I don't know what you said. Uh, Even in Ukraine and Russian prison, child molesters get raped and beaten and killed along with forced to clean the toilet. Yeah. You guys know I want nothing. Hey, look, I got a call. This really pissed me off. I got a call from a kid. He was 19 years old. He says he's looking at 20 years in federal prison. And he started to ask me for some questions on sentencing and all this. And then I said, 20 years, you're 19, and what the fuck you do? And he told me, I got child pornography charges. I told the motherfucker, you're talking to the wrong guy, man. Don't ever call me again. I ain't helping you. Don't watch my channel. And I hung up on him. And that's just the way I feel, man. And I felt violated, man. Believe it or not, I don't want no child molesters watching my channel. So, yeah, that's how I feel. And you know what? YouTube will shut me down for stating the way I feel. If I could really say what I really want to say on YouTube, but yes, I hear you, man. I hear you. So 756. What the fuck? CP charges like possession or just for filming. Yeah. I gotta keep my mouth shut, or YouTube will take my channel away from me. Anyways, guys, I guess I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys for everything. Please leave comments, hit the like button, subscribe, tell your friends. You got suggestions for videos you want me to do, leave it in the comments. I very much appreciate that, guys. So, anyways, y'all have a great evening. Have a good weekend. I'll see you on the next one.